When it comes to the world of knowledge, human knowledge, there's a flawed gatekeeping of knowledge, specifically on Wikipedia. And interestingly, that same flawed book of knowledge is what's feeding some of your smart speakers at home. Wikipedia's guidelines often lead editors to dismiss reputable historical publications, like the Chicago Tribune from 1973. Despite being credible at the time of publication, such sources are often considered, quote, unreliable, because they don't align with modern academic criteria. This creates a massive paradox. The very documents that chronicle history as it happened are sidelined in favor of more recent interpretations by a third party. The implication is that historical accuracy then takes a back seat to procedural conformity. The citation process favors current academic research or publications over original, time-specific accounts. This dismissive approach means rich, detailed narratives from the past, filled with first-hand observations, get deleted. They're at risk of being replaced or diminished by sanitized modern perspectives, and then that leads to a diluted version of history. By emphasizing the importance of contemporary, peer-reviewed research and established modern media, Wikipedia's process inherently narrows the scope of what is considered acceptable. The problem lies in the influence of contemporary bias. Present-day academic and media institutions often reflect current cultural and political ideologies. If older detailed accounts such as those from the Chicago Tribune or similar periodicals are brushed aside, we lose a more authentic view of history. As academia and the media become increasingly reflective of prevailing ideologies, Wikipedia's heavy reliance on these sources creates a feedback loop that distorts history. Events and perspectives that don't conform to present-day viewpoints may be underreported or erased altogether. And that makes it very difficult for readers to gain a well-rounded understanding of the past. Wikipedia's emphasis on secondary and peer-reviewed sources devalues primary historical documents like newspapers, government archives, and eyewitness accounts. These documents offer a raw glimpse into how people experienced events, yet they're dismissed if they don't meet modern academic standards. This practice compromises the integrity of historical documentation, neglecting vital records that capture the essence of a time period. By discounting publications that covered pivotal events or cultural phenomena, Wikipedia basically erases chapters of history. It erases people's memory. Stories that were reported in detail at the time will never see the light of day on Wikipedia if they lack modern academic corroboration. This erasure is especially harmful to marginalized groups whose histories may never be revisited or validated by present-day researchers. Wikipedia's adherence to strict citation rules emphasizes procedure rather than the importance of information itself. And you know, like I do, information nowadays is more valuable than gold. So even when historical sources are well documented and accurate, they will be excluded if they don't fit into Wikipedia's rigid framework. This procedural rigidity undermines the very purpose of an encyclopedia, to inform and educate based on the best available knowledge. The platform's overzealous content deletion practices compound the problem. Valuable information is erased if it does not comply with the current standard for reliable sources. And consequently, Wikipedia's potential to serve as a repository of human knowledge is hindered, as crucial details and historical facts are systematically stripped away, as the memory of people are purged. By rejecting historically significant sources, Wikipedia contributes to a skewed representation of the past. The systematic exclusion of older but credible publications results in a version of history that's curated to fit nothing more than a contemporary academic preference rather than reflecting the reality of what happened. And this weakens the platform's credibility and erodes trust in its ability to present an unbiased account of human events. This is all part of the reason why artificial intelligence is actually going to be a huge help to humanity. Our stories won't be held under the governor of Wikipedia. Your smart speaker won't be bound to the knowledge that's only available there. And as time goes by, and those sources are thrown to the side, Wikipedia is thrown to the side itself. It'll be more important to get those stories, those hyper-local focused stories out and stored somewhere. But where do they go? Do they live within AI's memory itself? Where does the compendium of the human condition and emotions live and reside through our stories and oral histories, where they can't be erased by a change in cultural phenomena? These Wikipedia policies are even more profound when considering non-Western and indigenous histories. You see, many cultures have documented their past through oral tradition or non-standard forms of publication. And these invaluable records are overlooked. They're overlooked. They're not even considered under Wikipedia's restrictive citation rules. And that reinforces a Western-centric, incomplete picture of world history, diminishing our understanding of the human experience and putting it directly back into the classroom and the people that want to curate what history means to them, to us. It's crazy. Wikipedia's citation policies, which disqualify sources like the Chicago Tribune from 1973, highlight a significant flaw in its approach to knowledge curation. And the exclusion of historically credible accounts in favor of modern, academically approved sources undermines a comprehensive understanding of history. This approach erases valuable narratives, perpetuates biases rooted in current ideologies, and contributes to the erosion of collective human knowledge. And the rigid rules prioritize conformity over the truth. And then it leaves us with an encyclopedia that may fail to capture the richness and complexity of who we really are. These are Interesting Things with JC.